Hailing frequencies open, and welcome to wrong show, Star Trek Discoverage. Back in the saddle again. The live podcast that boldly goes into excruciating detail about this week's episode of Star Trek Prodigy. I'm your host, Aaron Coker, a.k.a. Caliban, and I am fluent in cat. Sitting in again tonight in place of my usual co-host, Ella Pearson, is my co-host on the Just Enough Trope podcast. She's also the host of the Sailor Noob podcast, and she's a frequent Enterprising Individuals and Discoverage guest. It's Mika Hana. Mika, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
It's good to be back.
Yes.
Insofar as that's happening. A lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff going around at the Just Enough Trope studios. We got equipment down.
Yeah.
We got technical problems.
Yes.
But we're fighting through them.
Uh-huh.
And the little green thing tells me people can hear us.
Yay!
And so I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to listen to it for the first time in my life. Yeah. It's great to have you back, though. And how's it going?
It's going good.
Other than the
good.
aforementioned problems.
Yeah. Other than the hustle and bustle, it's going good. I'm really excited to talk about Star Trek Prodigy. So yeah, I've been really.
Well, you're just getting us right into it.
Sorry,
Screw the patter.
Well, no, I'm just excited. I'm really excited. Like, I was excited for the show, just hearing about it, and it's like. It sounded interesting and intriguing, and then just like hearing that Janeway was going to be on it, and then like hearing like the concept of the show, and it
just the lead is really buried here, because what I wanted to talk about was your recent appearance on Enterprising Individuals.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Thanks for taking over and just getting us through this, though.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no. I recently was on Enterprising Individuals, and we talked about Gene Roddenberry's only film credit.
Yeah, he's got a film credit.
He does.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, what is it?
It's not.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's not very good.
Oh God, no. What happens if he had gotten a second film credit?
That's what I want to know.
It couldn't have been any worse.
Like, how? I guess something we didn't actually talk about, and like, how well did it do?
Not well.
Yeah, okay. Not
well.
Not surprising. There were too many other things to talk about. The movie is Pretty Little Maids in a row.
It's hard to find contemporary reviews, or that is reviews that came out at that time for anything that is pre-internet.
Oh, yeah, sure.
There's and I know this because I got a movie podcast. Like there is, her Variety keeps everything, like literally everything. Like they've got like,
sure.
Sarah Bernhardt theater reviews and stuff like that. But like Variety has it. Like maybe you can get like the USA Today or the New York Times has an archive, but all the aggregate sites are only care about like internet stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like there is a Roger Ebert review of Pretty Maids All in a Row, the title of the movie that we haven't said yet.
Yeah.
But it is from like
I said it, but that's okay.
It's from like 2004. And it's Roger Ebert, just writing it once he can't talk anymore, like on a blog, going, boy, that wasn't great. And it's like, all right, but aren't you like the Return to the Valley of the Dolls guy? So, glass houses and all that.
Right. Like, did he say anything more than that wasn't really great? Like, I mean, we know, Mr. Ebert, you're the critic,
Well, that's for you to find out, isn't it? Go check it out. It's 8% on Rotten Tomatoes, and now that you've watched it and you've discussed it with me on the show, you can go check that out.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks for joining us. This is the part of the show where we usually talk about the news in the world of Trek, but screw it. Let's just get right into it, because I want to talk about this new show that we saw. We've just seen the premiere, hour-long episode of Star Trek Prodigy. It's an episode called Lost and Found, and we're here to talk all about it. But first, as always, a warning. We're setting a course for the spoiler zone, listeners. So be warned, we're glad you decided to join us, but if you haven't seen the episode, spoilers are incoming. The official synopsis for Lost and Found is a group of lawless teens exiled on a mining colony outside Federation space discover a derelict Starfleet ship. Dal must gather an unlikely crew for their newfound ship if they're going to escape Tars Lamora. But the Diviner and his daughter Gwen have other plans. Mm-hmm. And the McGillicuddy is going down to the Hassenpfeffer. There's a lot of expo in this synopsis.
Yeah, for a kid's show. But, I mean, it's the first episode and we're building the world, so I guess that kind of makes sense.
That is true. Although normally you wouldn't... this doubles as both an advertisement for the show and kind of like a pitch for the show.
Yeah,
and a synopsis for the show.
Probably done on purpose.
Are people like escape from the thing or try to.
Exactly.
And then spoilers, they do.
Yeah, right.
This was written and of course it is produced and created this series by Kevin and Dan Hageman, who are known for their work on Ninjago, Troll Hunters, Hotel Transylvania, that whole series.
Sure.
The Lego Movie, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. They are virtuosos of the Nickelodeon style of entertainment.
Gotcha.
You know.
I think the only one I've seen is the Lego Movie out of all those, but
yeah, I have not. I've heard good things about Hotel Transylvania. I just never.
I know there's multiple films. So.
Yeah, and I heard somebody was like riffing on this, but it was like it's a hotel in Transylvania, and the thing is like people come to the hotel and like it's run by monsters, and then like once you figure out it's run by monsters. Why is there a Hotel Transylvania for? People would stop coming to this hotel, right?
Unless that's the entire reason why you go there.
Yeah, maybe now they want to check it out because it is actually exciting that there's monsters there. This episode was directed by Ben Hibon, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Hibon.
Okay.
And he is a Swiss filmmaker and director. He's worked on movies like he's worked on video games and movies in animation. So games like Killer 7, Heavenly Sword. He worked on Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. I'm assuming the whole Deathly Hallows animation thing where they go, well, Harry, this is what happened.
Okay.
There's a beep, a bleep, and a creep.
Right,
and they
right.
do the thing. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, interesting.
And so, yeah, he is a director on the series. He's also an executive producer and the creative lead on the series.
Oh, okay.
We are not given a star date for this episode, but we do know, thanks to other internet synopses, that it takes place in 2383, 5 years after the return of the Voyager to Federation space.
Okay.
Here's a couple facts from the episode. You know, as a series premiere, this is, of course, an important milestone in the ongoing history of Star Trek. It's also the first feature-length episode since Broken Bow, the premiere of Enterprise in 2002, 1.
How long ago
was
it?
I don't know that. Yeah. I don't know. Too much going on.
Yeah.
It's also the first Star Trek episode to not have any guest stars since Enterprise's Observer Effect episode.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, I mean, it's just like, it's not like, Cloris Leachman comes in and like, what's going on here? It's like, these are all main cast members.
Right.
For the first time in the history of the franchise, Gene Roddenberry is credited at the end of the closing credits. We see it says, based on Star Trek by Gene Roddenberry.
Ah.
And we don't get the opening sequence at the beginning. We kind of get it at the end. That will presumably be at the beginning. We just had a title card for this.
That's what I'm thinking. I think they just wanted to get us into it, and then also maybe it's like it's a kid show.
Nickelodeon
you don't
Star
know
Trek Paramount presents.
Right, and you don't know the characters yet, so why are you going to sit
Yeah.
through the opening? Anyways.
It's never stopped any other show.
No, you're right.
I was using the example of...
it's a choice.
Well, actually, maybe the first pilot, like the pilot film of Quantum Leap, they don't do it. But like the second episode of Quantum Leap, you're like, oh, what? He's going to be Carmen Miranda? Spoilers. TV shows don't even have opening sequences anymore. It's just graphics. Something's going. Blood's coming down.
Yeah.
Cells or something like that.
Yeah,
but it used to be just clips from other episodes. It's like, oh, he's going to be a football player. Can't wait for that one.
Yeah, right.
This is the first episode since Voyager's Endgame to have a setting in the Delta Quadrant.
Okay, so we are in the Delta Quadrant. We know that for sure.
According to this blurb from Memory Alpha.
All right, I'm going to trust Memory Alpha.
The dialogue says, oh, this is the finest thing this side of the Delta. So if you're on the side of the Delta, maybe they're on the edge of the Delta.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, what that means, but okay.
It's the first on-screen appearance of a Kazon since Voyager's Shattered.
Yeah.
And also a little bit of continuity. This references the Window of Dreams, which is a star cluster that was previously mentioned in Voyager's episode Body and Soul.
Okay.
And we also see a couple different, the whole thing with like the characters and, the key art was like, whoa, these are all new aliens, but not quite.
I know.
Because we do have Acacian in this episode. We have a Tellarite, of course. Mm-hmm. We have a Lurian. Mm-hmm. And, of course, this is the first on-screen appearance of a Medusan since way back, 3rd season of Star Trek in Is There in Truth No Beauty?
Yes.
Dr. Kolos.
Yes.
Or whatever his name was. Ambassador.
Yeah. And then, it is impressive that they were able to build a robot suit for themselves, so
yeah.
without any hands. I built myself hands, so
it's kind of that like, how'd you do that? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we'll just glide right over that.
Business,
yeah, exactly.
To be fair, we could talk, since there's no guest cast to talk about. We could talk about the cast in turn, but I thought that we would just sort of talk about the episode, and then, if we talk about specific characters, we can talk about the actors behind those characters. So let's do it. What'd you think of Lost and Found?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was super fun and really funny, and I think it like set up the stakes and the world of these characters. I mean, okay, so it's they're basically in a work camp because Star Trek doesn't have there's no prisons, right? But that they're not necessarily in the Federation. They're not.
They're slaves.
Yeah, right. Okay, never mind. But I thought it set that up pretty well, and you understood everything that was going on, and I thought it was,
Can you do something for me?
What?
Explain what's going on, because you seem to know. I don't know what's going on. Who's the diviner?
I don't know.
What is
He's the bad guy.
Well, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
What is Chimerium? Where are they? What is this
I have
all about?
no idea where they are. Okay, I mean, this episode is just is like a prison escape episode, right? I mean, that's exactly what it is.
I'm just happy there's no masturbating Mogados to be fair.
Oh my God!
But,
don't even
yes,
get me started.
Yeah, you're right. It is a bombastic opening to the episode where we see these characters meet, learn to sort of work with each other. And also, that's pretty much all we know. They find a new destiny among the stars, and we'll have to see where that leads them. It says more, I think, about the supremacy of the brand of Star Wars, that when Star Trek doesn't have a bunch of dumpy LA actors in jumpsuits, the first thing somebody says is, "It looks like Star Wars. It looks like Star Wars."
Well,
that being said, looks like Star Wars.
I was going to say, because it's dirtier. I feel like we see a lot of bad situations in Star Wars and people being not treated so well that they get out of. And the other bad guy, the robot guy, he reminds me a lot of one of the robots.
General Grievous.
Yes, thank you. Right. Except instead of many arms,
we're getting it out of the way now.
He has many legs.
We'll just get it out of the way.
Yeah.
The Spider-Bot.
Yeah.
Or like the lower half of Darth Maul.
What?
He had spider legs.
Darth Maul had spider legs?
Okay, so my next comparison is not going to help you at all, but it looks a lot like Clone Wars, right? It looks a lot like...
Yes.
And I think that's probably intentional, like, let's just do what works. This could have been... this could have looked simpler, like the real Ghostbusters or something like that. There's nothing wrong with the real Ghostbusters.
No.
Or it could have been very stylized, and I think it's smart to make it look like this, and like this is clean... Mm-hmm. And very kinetic, very energetic, very good looking.
Yes.
If you just threw this up and just, if somebody's watching this and you walk by and you're like, oh, is this a new DreamWorks movie? It's like, no, it's a show. It's a weekly show. It's going to look like this every week.
Yeah,
it's
high production value.
Week, but yeah, I think they really delivered on the look of this thing.
Yeah, no, I think so too. And just making all the textures like really pronounced.
Texture-y?
Yeah, I don't know. The rocks look rocky. No, but okay.
The snozberries
no,
but
like but on all seriousness, like the lighting in this is great, and I think the animation with lighting it doesn't always look the best.
It's new Star Trek. It's got to have a lot of light.
I guess.
Lens flares, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I suppose it does. So
I talked about dumpy LA. Let's put a middle-aged guy in a one piece. What's going on here?
Right.
Like that's old Star Trek. New Star Trek, and to be fair, a new science fiction. On pretty much every channel on the dial.
That's true.
It looks like this now. Mm-hmm. And I think that visually is something that people have a hard time sort of getting past. Unless you're going to go watch the Orville, which I haven't really seen a lot of the Orville, but, it's like, we're giving you what you say you want. Flat lighting.
Right.
I've got a gut. I'm in a zip-up onesie.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, like, this is just... I think if you can get over that hurdle of just not seeing a bunch of people in red and gold, and be swept up in it, you're going to have a good time.
I think so too. Do you think that there are going to be people who can't get over that?
How much did you enjoy this? Keep that in your head, right?
Okay.
Pick a number, 1 to 10. Don't tell me what it is.
Okay.
This is currently sitting at 6.1 on IMDb.
Shut up.
So, yes, I think there are absolutely people who are going to.
What?
For whatever their own personal reasons are. But
That's dumb.
We're not focusing on them. We're talking about this show.
Yeah.
Well, as long as we're calling out things, it's a Farscape, right? They're doing a Farscape.
Oh.
But the fact that you can do a Farscape, and I can say they're doing a Farscape, like, how do you do a Star Wars? We just, talked about how everything in space is compared to Star Wars.
Yes.
If you're going to steal from the best, and they're just doing that. And I think that it really works, especially for the premise that they've set up, which is how do you introduce, in this case, Star Trek fans, to a completely new universe or a pocket that's new in a universe
Mm-hmm.
And so do we want to do, like, Strange New Worlds kind of faces this, because not only are they prequel material, they also have to go, all right, well, spin the wheel. It's an Andorian. It's whatever, and you have to kind of find unique or at least unexplored things, but you're kind of stuck in the, like, well, it's Dr. Mbenga and he's just younger. Whereas this is like, do whatever you want. There's a blob. There's a rock lady. You could do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. But then we need like a solid premise. And the solid premise is we don't know these people. They don't know each other. And everybody's going to learn about everybody as this thing goes on. I think that's really great.
I think it's awesome. And I mean, you're right. It is like Farscape, and I wish more people knew about. I'm being
hunted by an insane military commander.
Yeah.
With spider legs.
Yeah,
Someone
right.
Help me, please.
Exactly. Yeah. So Gwen is the progeny. She's basically.
Wait, no. Prodigy.
Is it Prodigy? Oh,
no, I'm just saying. Like.
Good point.
Star Trek progeny.
Yeah. Right. Good point. Of the diviner.
Why not say savant or something like that?
Yeah, make it less confusing. Especially like words that maybe kids don't necessarily use all the time. But anyways,
well, they're gonna learn.
They're gonna learn them now. Yeah. Mommy, what's a progeny? But like,
that's when you're really good at the piano, but it's not important right now.
But so is she like his biological daughter? Did he like make her somehow? I've got questions.
It's time that you learn the truth.
Oh, okay.
When a bird and a bee love each other very much. No, I think, we're in a sci-fi world, so I understand what you're saying. Is it like, are there things going on here?
Yeah.
Is she a normal little person? Is she a weird little thing?
Right.
Well, something that I find intriguing about her is that she's a polyglot.
Okay. Tell me what that is.
Well, if you have a cream, it clears right up. No, it's somebody who knows a lot of languages, right? And so poly, lot, glot.
Gotcha.
Mouth, tongue, whatever.
Okay.
And she's talking to the little cat girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
and she's saying, she's talking about languages, and she's talking, and I got the idea of, there was a theme of like, knowing languages helps you understand someone.
Yes.
It's literally, communicating with them. It's literally meeting them on their level. And hopefully that's going to develop into something that she is pursuing or is interested in as we go forward.
Yeah, I hope so.
It seems like I think Dal is great as a main character. He's kind of roguish. He's kind of like the kid Han Solo. Mm-hmm. It's him as a little kid.
I know.
And, But like as far as it being a two-hander between her and him and Gwen, I think that's really neat. And who knows? Maybe she'll end up being the kind of the ambassador on the ship, or the person who's sort of like
I could see that.
the point person as far as contacting other people.
Like the ambassador, and I guess they don't really need a translator if they've got the universal translator, unless something happens to it, it breaks down or something like that.
Yeah, and of course this is the Delta Quadrant, which 7 seasons of Voyager, and what do we know? There's a lot of Kazon in one part of it.
Yeah, right.
What else? A lot of Borg.
Yeah.
Or at least there used to be.
There's the one alien that's like X something, a bunch of numbers. The animated alien that was like coming from a different dimension.
Oh, species 8472?
Yeah. Why did I think there was an X in their name?
And so, but they all seem real surprised. Like, oh, this thing lets us talk to each other. And like,
yes.
50 years of Star Trek fans are like, yeah. So if you don't know that, like, we got a problem here. So it seems like they are maybe unfamiliar with this technology. They seem to know what the pew-pew and the torpedoes are, but maybe just all ships have that sort of thing.
I think I kind of getting this idea too that most of the prisoners seem to be like orphans, and maybe they came maybe not as young as the cat girl, but pretty young. So who knows? And also Delta Quadrant, so probably not a lot of Federation technology.
Oh, he's
here.
the child catcher. It's like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh,
they're bringing these little kids in, and what did the child catcher make them do? Like, what happened to them?
I don't really remember that movie that much.
You're finished with your sucker now. Get to the salt mines or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
I can't remember. I have to ask Ian Fleming next time we see him. So they mount this escape, or at least they first have to, in a kind of Repente-esque kind of scenario, find a way to work together with each other.
Yes.
Also plot their escape. I liked the fact that what you mentioned before, like the main villain or the main villain's sidekick, Dreadnought, is like this robot guy, and then a lot of their little guards are these little robot things, and so I wonder if there's a theme of like, is it a robot army that's going to take over, or is it robots versus
people,
aliens?
Yeah, I bet that's probably going to be a big part of it. Would be my guess. Yeah, I mean, I think Dreadnought is definitely coming after them and gonna do whatever he can to find them and the ship, because do not mess with the diviners. What did he call it? His prize?
Yes.
Don't mess with that. If he's a diviner, how did he... I guess the ship doesn't have a mind.
Well, it's Scott Janeway.
Well, but she wasn't turned on, so he couldn't... That's not what I meant. So he couldn't sense it, but he knew it was out there somewhere. I'm sure it's a mystery that we'll learn as the show goes on, but I've got so many questions as to how it got where it got, how it got underneath rock,
He says specifically that he doesn't want Gwen to... be influenced by the Federation.
Yes, I remember that.
So he's aware of the Federation.
Yes.
We don't know, they're still writing the book here, so we don't know what happened after Voyager returned to Earth. We know that Harry Kim didn't get a promotion. We know that. Everything else we don't really know. And so were they able to, reopen those transwarp conduits and like stick their head back out and go, I don't see any Borg around here, and just, start, hey, what's up? Well, we're from a long ways away, but here's some tracks, or whatever the Federation does when they meet new species in a new quadrant.
Right.
I think if you're Cisco, you just crash land on the Starlight Express planet and then get the Kai killed. One of the first planets they go to in the Gamma Quadrant's like, oh my god, this is horrible. We've really messed this up.
I know.
And the guy from Breaking Bad is wearing some tire armor. I really liked that. It's a show for kids, but I liked the sophistication of the dialogue, and I liked the fact that it's tough to have. I mean, kids are pretty savvy these days, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I saw one smoking on the corner. I asked him what his brand was. And they can handle. I think they can handle like shades of good and bad and morality. You know.
Oh yeah.
Because as we start off, all these characters are pretty self-serving, and they have to learn to work together. And the kind of scene where Gwen has got him in the Blade Runner room, you know, in the Tyrell Corporation offices.
Yeah.
And she's giving him the honey lychees, and she's trying to like kind of ply him, but then she starts, you know, she brings the stick out instead of the carrot. And then he's like, well, I don't know about that. She's like, okay, well, that was good cop. Here comes robot cop. And then the Reapers are going to drag him away. And it's like, well, there's a lot happening here for a cartoon show on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I mean, there definitely is. But I think it's good to not talk down to kids, you know, with stories.
Kids won't put up with garbage.
And this is right, correct, and this is not garbage.
Adults usually won't, but sometimes they will. But you know, the Vampire Diaries was on for a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, gotcha. My feud continues with the Vampire Diaries. Oh, it's been 9 long years of hell. No, I think that kids. Yeah, you're exactly right. You can't talk down to kids, and they're you can't fake the funk, you know, with a kid. And I think kids would definitely get into this.
I think so too. And
young kids might be lost, but there are broader strokes where they go, okay, the guy with the glowing red eyes is the bad guy.
Right.
The nice guy with the ponytail is the good guy.
The colorful goo is funny.
Yeah, the goo is funny.
I mean, there's different levels, right? Yeah, and I think there's action in it, but there, you know, without it being violent. If you know what I mean.
I do.
And I okay, when they're going down into the mine because he's looking for Agent Zero, who he doesn't know, but they seem to think that he has a relationship with, and he kind of, I guess he did talk to Agent Zero at one point, but he didn't realize it was Agent Zero until he found out they were a telepath.
Fugitive.
Right.
Fugitive Zero.
Fugitive Zero. Why did I think it was Agent Zero?
Or no, is it? I'm thinking, okay, yeah, it is Fugitive Zero. I was thinking of Prisoner Zero from Matt Smith's first episode of Doctor Who.
Yes, that was in the back of my head, too.
Look, I am just a jukebox of sci-fi references.
It's okay. So
it's okay to have things that are like other things in other shows.
Yes.
But I am going to call them out, though.
Yeah. And I think they prefer to just be called Zero because obviously not a fugitive.
Huge Billy Corgan fan.
Huge. But when is it? I don't have the names. Is it Doll?
Doll
and Rock. What is
Rocktar?
Rocktar are going down into the mines. Rocktalk are going down into the mines. That entire sequence up into them like finding the ship and them finding the ship was fantastic. The like little video of the little stick figures and like all the ways you could get injured with the X's. Yeah. Whoa, that's a lot of X's. Yeah. and then like them getting like hooked up to each other and like all of that was great. They can't communicate. And I'm
kind of sad we're gonna lose that.
A little. I think that maybe something's going to happen to the communicator at some point.
Well, somewhere in the second act, you have to get injected with translator microbes, and then we can talk to each other. But once again, just a jukebox.
Yeah,
a scornful jukebox.
I know exactly what you're talking about. But and then like when Doll like was. I don't know. He was messing around, and then he was like tripping.
Yes. Here, you're doing all this just to steal their joke, and this is the longest walk in the world for you to go X.
Sorry,
as the rock
it was
is falling
funny.
Towards him. It was very funny, and everybody saw it.
Okay, sorry.
What about Doll's?
What you're doing isn't funny. The show is funny.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's it. But you're taking a long time to do it, though. The point I wanted to make was, you know what's taking a long time? Getting Janeway on the screen.
Yeah.
I've got like great note, good joke, good note. Where is Janeway in huge capital letters?
Yeah.
Cool blade. Other stuff. But yeah, it took a while for Janeway to show up.
We don't get her until like seconds before the credits roll.
And the thing about Ms. Mulgrew gets paid the same, whether she has
one
line.
Heck yes.
So she's like, fine. I'll say one line. Fine.
Yeah, right.
I
have how many lines this week? Yeah. Okay.
Send the check to the usual place.
Yes.
I like. Let's just talk about the funny gags.
Yeah.
I liked the call. There's a lot of great callbacks in this. You mentioned the X thing, or you tried to.
Hey.
There's the
X to you,
There's
Mister.
the setup and payoff of his telepathy face, which I did not understand what he was doing before.
No.
Even though I guess she. Not she, they, Zero tries to explain what he's doing.
Yes.
Later on, he's like, oh, wait a minute. And you're like, what? And then she's like, I'm getting a telepathic message.
Yes. No, I thought it was great. It was really awesome.
Are they going to go back for Catgirl?
I feel really bad for Catgirl. Okay, a little bit of me just kind of, like, my heart just kind of broke because
I
Gwen...
don't leave me behind, ooh.
Yeah, right? Like, Gwen was like, what's going to happen now that Gwen is gone to Catgirl? She's going to be working in the mines. I don't like it.
Yeah, I know what it is. Yeah, one last shot at the end of the episode.
Great.
Her watching it go single tear.
And
then
know.
He's like, all right, and they hand her like a tiny little pickaxe. It's like, okay, off to work.
It's so sad. It has a little bow on it.
What did you think of the Protostar? Which is the ship.
Right. I knew that.
Very clear. Yes. So clear,
yes.
No one could
you're
possibly
right.
not know.
Okay, sorry. It took me a second. Written all over my face. What are you talking? Anyway, yeah, I thought it was cool. Really clean lines. I don't know. What am I saying?
For a ship, that's fine. Hey, what do you think about so and so? Clean comes first, bad. Ship, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it was buried under rocks, right?
Gets a lot of miles to the gallon. Could be good. We don't know. Boxy, not great.
No.
Unless it's Muhammad Ali or something like that.
Yeah,
he's really boxy.
Right. Or Boxy from the Yoma from Sailor Moon. Then it's great.
Okay, that's or Boxy from Battlestar Galactica. So,
okay. All right.
Yeah. 2 worlds.
One podcast. Yeah. I thought it was cool. I thought it was neat. They came onto the ship and I guess is it Rock Tar or Rock Targ?
Rock Talk. I think of
Rock
it like
Talk.
Like Talk.
Okay.
Like It's My Life.
Rock Talk pushes the communicator, which is somehow connected to the ship, but then later they're holding it. I don't know. Anyways, and then it just kind of comes to life.
Yeah.
I thought that was really neat. And I guess it wasn't until help was the word for Janeway Siri to pop up and be like, oh, how can I help you? And it's like the okay Google, they said help and like, oh, do you need help?
Is that what it was?
I think that's what it was.
Okay.
Maybe I'm reading into it. I don't know, but
maybe they didn't make it very clear, but yeah, I'm sure that's probably what it was.
I don't know. I thought it was cool that none of them know how to fly a ship.
Was it something like, we've got shields, now we need some help?
It was something like that. Like they were saying something else, something, help.
I felt like they were just, okay, why belabor this? It doesn't matter.
I don't know
why. I have no idea why I'm doing this. But I thought they were just talking and they were like, we don't know what to do next. And then the lights kind of flicker and then it's like, get off my ship. No.
Well, somebody said help. I just distinctly remember that, but I just can't remember what the context was.
So I'm not saying this is a bad idea. This could be a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
But what you're telling me is this captain comes back from the Delta Quadrant in 7 years and gets most of her crew back home. Nobody's going to miss Lieutenant Carey.
Uh-huh.
And then immediately they go, we're going to do 2 things. One, make you a vice admiral.
Uh-huh.
And second of all, hold still. We're going to scan, every molecule of you and make you the emergency training hologram.
Apparently.
For this ship. I like it. So we don't know the purpose of the Protostar yet. But it seems like, it's, we know that it's a prototype. But it seems like it's a training vessel, or at least it has this program
yes.
that is purposefully here to help, people learn how to use the ship or whatever. So
right.
Lucked out.
Yeah, no kidding.
But it's a simple thing, but I just like the idea, like it's called a protostar. A protostar is a star that is still forming, it's still developing. And it's a
good point.
It's a astrological term,
mm-hmm.
Astronomical term. Got you there.
Got it.
I see good things in your future. But it's also like a cool name for a ship, and it's got a meaning. It's like, these guys, I like these guys.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about this
stuff. It's clever. I just was thinking right just now, because you were talking about Janeway becoming a hologram. Do you think that the Doctor helped talk her into it?
Maybe.
I could see that happening, is all I'm saying.
She could finally be with Liam, or whatever his name is.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That could have been an argument, too.
Or there's some kind of, here's the twist. He gets out of Fairhaven.
Oh, no!
And ends up with real Janeway. And then fake Janeway
is just stuck in Fairhaven.
Yeah. She has to run the bar. Let me tell you a story. The time I got dumped.
I didn't always own this bar.
Her dog's dead by now, right? It's gotta
be. No!
Well, I don't know. I mean,
I don't know.
Future technology has extended pet life, but...
I don't want to think
about that. She's coming back
to
an empty bowl.
Oh, who was taking care of the dog?
Probably the fiance, right?
Oh, right. Yeah, right. Who she wasn't technically engaged to anymore.
No,
right?
A lot of missed opportunities in a
so
show,
many
in a show that we're not supposed to be talking about, Voyager.
Yeah.
But everybody sends their letters home, and we never find out what happened with
what's his name?
Brad or whatever his name is.
Yeah, so important we don't remember his name.
Yeah,
he does. He does seem like a Brad.
Just get the guy. He was in a picture, right? Just to get that guy.
Yeah, I know.
He'd want to work for a day on a show.
Yeah, why not?
And then just have a real tense call with them. They get on the space phone.
Yeah.
And he's like, you can keep the dog.
Oh my God.
He's already moved on. Honey, so I'm coming, dear. It's like, well, I'm glad to hear you're okay.
That's, that makes me really angry. But, I don't.
And then if she ends up with Chakotay, it makes sense.
Okay.
It's a rebound.
That's gross.
Mommy, what do rebound mean?
Yeah.
We'll find out what their connection and their relationship is when we see Chakotay in a future episode.
Yeah, I know. Maybe...
He doesn't want to go back to the Delta Quadrant, does he? It might be like, Akuchi Moy, no, thank you.
Would any of them want to go back?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think they're all just want to wash their hands of it.
Harry might have left some broken hearts behind.
Probably more than a couple.
Yeah.
But
once he just gets some new reeds for his clarinet, and he heads right back out.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that's what I want to see. I'm hoping that we see something like that. Anything else you can think of to speak about for this episode, the first episode of Star Trek Prodigy?
Well, can we talk a little bit more about some of the characters or the performances?
Yeah.
I guess I want to just say that overall, I think it was well cast.
Yeah.
The voice acting seems like everybody matches with their characters.
Yeah.
And Rock Top, I'm probably saying Rock Top.
It's my life.
I love that you have, because of the grunting and the physical stature.
Yeah.
You have this certain idea in your head of what their voice is going to sound like.
Yeah, it's a great joke.
It is.
Or a great bit.
You
can only do it once.
Yeah, I know. You can. You're right. And I also like that they cast a kid actor because they wanted somebody who sounded really young.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's how you do it. Like, if you want somebody who sounds really young, you have to get somebody who's a kid. So, yeah.
Don't tell voice actors that.
Well,
there are many voice actors.
Many voice actors can do stuff.
Yardley Smith.
Yes.
We're sorry.
No, okay. I spoke out of turn. You can sound young, but I just thought it was an interesting choice.
Yeah. Great there. The variance in all the voices is really great, I thought. You've got, these are all kids, like we know that.
Yeah.
But, Dahl sounds a little younger than Gwyn.
True.
And Zero, we don't know a lot about Zero, but then again, they're an incorporeal form being, so they're a little different. Of course, you throw Jason Mantzoukas in there.
Who's fantastic.
So it's just it's such a great variety, not only visually of characters, but also in terms of what they're bringing vocally to the roles. I think it's really great.
No, I think so too. And then, what's his name? Is it Jimmy Smith?
Jimmy Simpson.
Jimmy Simpson, thank you. Not Smith. Who was the Men in Black in Westworld. And in other stuff, but that's what I'm pulling from my most recent memory.
Yeah, I think probably most people would remember him as Liam McPoyle, right?
Oh, yeah, okay, I guess.
From Always Sunny.
All right, I didn't watch Always Sunny, so I guess I need to.
Wrong.
That's what's wrong. Yeah. All right, but he's what's the bad guy's name? The robot bad guy with the spider legs. I can't remember. Dreadnought.
Yes.
And I wouldn't have recognized his voice.
Hands.
Yeah, I know. And Mantzoukas, I always recognize him, but you're always happy to hear him. Does a great job. So it's it's Jason Mantzoukas.
Kind of little fun bit. So I hope to learn and know more about the Hageman brothers as we get into this, but didn't know if they're big Star Trek fans. You don't have to be to say yes to what is assuredly to be a great deal and a great show for you.
Yeah.
But maybe it's people like consultants like David Mack who keep them on the straight and level as far as things go. But I like the introduction of the Tellarite, and then it's here's your little Easter egg. We're not going to just stop and just do an Easter egg. Remember this part. Instead, we're going to go. Fans of the show will know that Tellarites socially are famously argumentative. And so we are going to use that in this scene to push the story forward.
Which was fantastic.
And also establish what the rapport will be between these characters and Jankum, which isn't Jankum like a drug that you can make yourself at home?
I have no idea.
Anyway, Jankum Pog. And so we'll see in the future if they, if he finally learns you guys are doing reverse psychology on me. And that makes me angry.
Maybe. Although, when we're talking about stuff in space, this reminds us of, it does kind of a little bit remind me of Guardians of the Galaxy. And it was a different, how Drax takes everything literally. This guy, you just used reverse psychology on him. And it's funny. I don't know. That's what it reminded me of. So...
Isn't there also, there's the, this is where you need David Mack. There's the guys in TNG where one of Wesley's tests, his dumb tests, his gaslighting to get into Starfleet Academy, is he runs into another officer, and then the officer's like, watch where you're going, and Wesley's like, you were in my way. You're like, whoa, Wesley. But then as he walks away, Wesley's like, I saw that he had webbed fingers and therefore knew that he came from the Quarren planet or something like that. And they are famously argumentative. And so that it was excellent. Good marks for this kid here.
Wow.
He knows his species.
That's
They love brutal honesty.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, if you think that that's crazy, imagine writing for the Last Unicorn Star Trek RPG and going, we need another player race. What about those argumentative people with the webbed hands?
Oh, no.
And I played one of those.
Did you really?
Yes. The party members hated me because I was my excuse to be mean and argumentative with everybody.
Well, I'm sure you had fun, but nobody else wanted you to be in the party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Don't ever play role-playing games with me. All right. Well, I think we hit just about every branch on the way down the tree here, so I think that we can call it quits for this week. Thanks for joining us, listeners. If you like what you hear, you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at EISTPod for updates and to get notified when new episodes of both Enterprising Individuals and this show, Discoverage, are released. You can tweet to us on the show by using the hashtag Discoverage or email us at eistpod@gmail.com. Also, while you're on the show, while you're on the internet, why not head to your listening platform of choice and subscribe to our show feed, give us a rating and a review, because it really helps us out. If you want to help the show grow, stop by our Patreon page at patreon.com/EISTpod. And as always, if you like the show, tell a friend. Discoverage will return on November 4th for the second episode of Star Trek Prodigy, and we don't know what the title is yet.
Okay.
It seems like with the last episode or season of Lower Decks,
they
usually come out like Monday of the next week, but it doesn't really matter because we're still going to be here next Thursday to cover it. We'll be going live once again at 8 p.m. Central, so join us then. You can follow us on Twitter or Facebook at EISTpod to get notified when we're live and broadcasting. But in the meantime, check out our main show, Enterprising Individuals, at enterprisingindividuals.com. Every Wednesday on the show, I and a special guest discuss in excruciating detail a select episode from a Star Trek series. We also have news from the Trek sphere and interviews with special guests. Our latest episode just dropped, and on it, I am joined by tonight's guest, Mikan Hana of the Just Enough Trope and the Sailor Moon podcast, and it's a very special episode.
It sure is.
We talk about the only movie written by Gene Roddenberry, Pretty Maids All in a Row.
And I dare you to not get upset.
Advised. Yeah, we get into it a little bit, but you can check that out at enterprisingindividuals.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks as always, Mika, for joining me to talk about tonight's episode of Lower Decks, and remind people where they can find you online.
Yeah, you can find me at Mikan Hana on Twitter and justenoughtrope.com.
What is coming up on the Just Enough Trope podcast?
I'm so glad you asked. This week we are going to be talking about the Last Night in Soho.
Yeah. The Edgar Wright movie.
The Edgar Wright movie. So, Ho?
You said so, and so I said
Yeah.
We're a team.
Yeah, we are. So, yeah, looking forward to talking about that. And last week we talked about Dune. So
yes, we did.
So a lot of big shows. Yeah.
That's nobody in the movie at any point goes, Dune.
I know. And I really wish they did. But
Paul, Dune. That's really what that was missing, but that's okay. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and thanks for listening, everyone, and we are signing off. Until next week, this is Aaron for Mika saying live long and prosper.